Viewers, you're watching the Explosive Exclusive with me and Navika Kumar, and at the start of the show, a news story that will surprise you because till now it remains undisclosed. But what we are learning is that Sushant Singh Rajput, Navika, sent out an SOS to his family.
That's right. On the 8th of June is when we understand Rhea Chakraborty left the house of Sushant Singh Rajput. 8th of June also happens to be the day on which Disha Salian's dead body was recovered, and it was said that she had committed suicide. Now, what we are being given to understand by sources close to Sushant Singh Rajput's family is that on that day, on the 9th of June, the night after this news came to him, he was in a complete flap, very, very worried, very agitated, Rahul. And what he did tell his family was that I've been trying to get in touch with Rhea. She's not answering my calls. This is very urgent that I speak with her because ये किसी न किसी चीज में मुझे फंसाएंगे. Who he was referring to? Why was he wanting to get in touch with Rhea? Did she have anything that Sushant expected her to use against him? We don't know, but this is something that he did share with his family and said, "ये किसी न किसी चीज में मुझे फंसाएंगे," and that is a conversation that the family has also given in its statement to the CBI, because this was an issue where Sushant was agitated, and we know that his sister in Mumbai came and stayed with him in the interim for about 2 or 3 days before she went back. And during this period, he kept repeating the fact that he was extremely agitated, he was extremely worried, and he was scared that कुछ लोग उसे फंसाने वाले हैं. And something about this that he wanted to discuss with Rhea Chakraborty, but she had blocked his phone calls. She was not taking his phone calls, and he was rather distraught and worried about contacting Rhea. Did she have something that Sushant Singh Rajput was worried about? That's the big question.
Well, you know, for a while now, Navika, many people have been talking about how there has been a larger conspiracy in or behind the death of Sushant Singh Rajput. Now, obviously, the drug conversations seem to suggest that Sushant Singh Rajput was being given a cocktail of drugs. Whether he knew about it, whether it was prescribed by somebody to make him disoriented, we don't know. But clearly this paranoia that he has harbored is coming through, and obviously he did not trust the people around him.
That's very, very true. The fact is that he was paranoid. Somebody probably was threatening him that something would come out. We don't know in what area these threats were all about. There are all sorts of theories that are doing the rounds, that somebody, Disha had told him something before she committed suicide, or possibly that itself was a homicide. There are many theories, but the fact is that it is confirmed that Sushant Singh Rajput was paranoid. He was trying to get in touch with Rhea. He wanted to know some details from Rhea. He kept on trying his number, and we have the CDRs.
Yes, we have the call records.
He kept trying Rhea Chakraborty's phone numbers. She had blocked him. There was no conversation, and this was sending him into a tizzy. And he kept telling his family, "ये लोग मुझे फंसाएंगे." किस चीज में फंसाएंगे? What was it that was troubling him? Was there something, maybe his prescriptions which he felt could have been made public by a group of people? Whether it was something else, we don't quite know. But he was definitely worried about something, and Rhea Chakraborty possibly had the answer to this, which is why he kept trying her number, and she had blocked him so he couldn't speak with her. He did try Shobik Chakraborty's number as well, and Shobik also could not put him through Rhea Chakraborty.
Do you think they were playing mind games?
That was an SOS.
Do you think they were playing mind games, or if not, then his family did come to his aid for a while, did they not?
Well, they came, but they thought that, you know, maybe he's agitated because she's gone away. Maybe there are some differences between them which they need to sort out. And they kept asking him, "Phasaenge, kis cheez ki baat kar rahe ho? Kis cheez ki baat kar rahe ho?" That is what. But nobody ever imagined that it could be a matter of life and death. Maybe they felt that he was feeling unwell, he was, paranoid about her leaving. He wanted to desperately, try and reach across to her, and she was not taking his calls. Maybe that is why he was agitated. So they were trying to, as families would do, trying to calm him down, trying to tell him that, koi nahi phasayega, tum aaram karo, that kind of a thing, which regular people would tell each other. The fact of the matter is that at least for 2 or 3 days he kept saying कि ये लोग मुझे फंसाएंगे. Who were these people that he was referring to? Nobody has a clue.
Nobody has a clue. So the family hit a brick wall when it came to identifying, or at least getting him to identify these individuals. Okay, very interesting. I just want to quickly go straight across to our reporters because there's been so many developments today. We'll just come out to them amidst all of this, of course, because of the probe. Now, the skeletons in Bollywood's drug closet are also out. We'll just come to that, but I want to come across to you, Siddhant. Very important, this deposition that we have been able to access says that Sushant Singh Rajput feared the worst. Now, have the authorities been looking into this aspect? Have the family members been questioned on this aspect?
This is a very significant news break that you and Navika ma'am is getting, because Rahul, from 6 months before Sushant's death, almost the entire Bollywood boycotted him, and this has been confirmed to me by Sushant's staff and his friends. He only has his close friend circle, those who used to speak to him. They don't have any Bollywood background. Second, Rahul, that on 9th he was really disturbed after listening to Disha Salian's suicide, and this he mentioned to one of his staff also, that why I am being linked to that particular suicide, and he was really upset. He did not talk much. Then on 11th and 12th also he again mentioned, and he was looking very upset. So as you guys are getting this story, that on 9th he made this SOS call to Meetu Singh. It is very significant because this is the first time that Sushant has approached somebody in the family telling them that I am scared, somebody is trying to fix me. Now the fact here is that he was really not happy with the way lot other people in Bollywood used to treat him. He was somewhere very unhappy with that. He was feeling isolated and boycotted, and that was the main reason for his stress. Then Rhea left him on 8th, and then on the same intervening night, Disha Salian's death news come up, and in the next day her death was being linked with Sushant. So he was indeed disturbed at that point in time. Now this has never come up during Mumbai Police's investigation. This has never come up that he made this SOS call and he approached his family member. The only thing that has come up in Mumbai Police's investigation was that he was disturbed with the news of Disha Salian. So it is a very significant news break, that why Sushant was depressed and in fear of somebody trying to fix him. Back to you.
Okay, well,
Tamal is also joining us on the broadcast here, and Tamal, this is significant because the fact that he spoke and he was given the information about Disha Salian's death had agitated him, and this has been corroborated by Siddharth Pitani. It's also been corroborated by Dipesh Sawant, who were with him at home, and then his conversations with his family, speaking to his sister, to his brother-in-law, and expressing the fact that ye log mujhe phasa denge, and the repeated phone calls that he kept making to Rhea Chakraborty clearly show that he was agitated and worried about something. Have the investigation agencies been able to zero in on something like this? Because the CBI has interrogated Rhea Chakraborty. Have they been able to zero in on what information did Rhea Chakraborty have? Who were the people that Sushant Singh Rajput was worried about? The family has deposed also before the CBI. Any clues as to what was worrying Sushant Singh Rajput in the 5 days between the 9th of June and the 13th of June when Rhea had left his residence?
Well, Navika, yes, during the course of interrogation of Rhea Chakraborty, definitely that was asked. We also know, as a matter of fact, that the allegations labelled against Rhea Chakraborty were also... Well, Navika, just sorry to interrupt you, but we are getting live visuals here. Jaya Saha is expected to leave out, and Jaya Saha was interrogated. There you see, Navika, first visuals here on Times Now. Jaya Saha having interrogated by NCB for over 5 hours. Close to 6 hours. Jaya Saha is now stepping out of the NCB guest house, and these are the first visuals, live visuals you're getting from Times Now. Jaya Saha had been questioned by NCB. Minded she was called on September 16, but she could not. Ma'am, what is that? What is that we are trying to understand? Ms. Saha, did you participate in a group chat with other celebs? Did you advise celebs to give CBD? Okay, there you see Jaya Saha stepping out of the NCB guest house, and Jaya Saha, of course, did not take questions. There are several WhatsApp chats which are now under the scanner of NCB, and WhatsApp chats that Jaya Saha is also part of. She came down to NCB office at around 1:50. She is leaving NCB office at 6:10. Yeah. We will figure out in some time if she is being called again. So yes, Navika, that was the latest what happened here at the NCB guest house. Going back to your question, yes, Rhea Chakraborty, during the course of interrogation, she was inquired upon what really happened on June 9. Why did she switch off her phone? Why did she not care to get back to Sushant Singh Rajput after having learned Disha Salian's unfortunate demise, and that to a tragic one? Rhea Chakraborty, to her defense, she had suggested that Sushant Singh Rajput had apparently asked her to leave his house, and she was heartbroken. Okay. The reason why she did not get back.
Well, all of this, of course, happening in the context of new drug chats that have appeared, viewers. New drug chats now which encompass many more Bollywood A-listers. Let's bring them out and put them out there. And it appears that Jaya Saha is one of the common links. So what we know now, Navika, is that Times Now has accessed more incriminating drug chats. Very interestingly, the scanner is on K and D.
I can think of many names, but there are a few that Jaya Saha has been asked, and that is the context in which the questioning, the interrogation today was all about. She has to identify the K, the D, the N, and the J. J, of course, happens to be Jaya Saha. And who were these A-listers that she was in drug chats with? And Jaya Saha, common link between A-listers in Bollywood, also somebody who was in touch with Rhea as somebody who was arranging as well as advising on in what form to give what drops to Sushant Singh Rajput. That is what she was telling Rhea Chakraborty in chats that we showed earlier. So this crucial link, Jaya Saha is a crucial link between the Rhea Chakraborty, Sushant Singh Rajput story and the other A-listers in Bollywood, and the drug connection that connects this side with that side. And clearly these chats do show us very evidently that there are drugs on the agenda, on the menu, and Jaya Saha was supplying this possibly
Just
to many.
Just have a look at these conversations, because Shraddha Kapoor has been named. In one of these, she's also being summoned, and it's because of this conversation. Let's just look at the Shraddha Kapoor conversation, if you can. Let's pull that out. That's Shraddha speaking with Jaya Saha. Jaya
Call
Saha
me
says,
once you are
yes,
down, we'll come and get you, is what Jaya is telling. Hello, I'm sending across the CBD oil with the Genal today. Hey, thank you. Shraddha says to Jaya Saha, then Jaya says thank you with an emoji there. Listen, I still want to meet SLB, says Shraddha Kapoor. Who is SLB? Well, we don't know.
Well, we are being told that it is the initials of a top Bollywood director. So that is what
and
we have been told.
And he had been summoned by the Mumbai police
yes.
Earlier,
so
but...
we can't, of course, put a name to it because we've been told that right now...
Yeah, it coincidentally
yes.
resembles the name of a Bollywood director. Let's just get our reporters in on this. And Siddhant Mishra is joining us live on this broadcast. Siddhant, this is a conversation between Shraddha Kapoor and Jaya Saha. And earlier, of course, Sara Ali Khan was named by Rhea Chakraborty. So two summons that have gone out from the Narcotics Control Bureau for summoning both Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. We are being told that these two A-listers will have to come and depose before the Narcotics Control Bureau. What is this SLB? What is the connection to these chats? What is the connection to the drug availability or procurement that is being discussed between Jaya and Shraddha Kapoor?
Well, Navika ma'am, it was you who brought Jaya Saha's name for the first time, those chats. And this is the second time we have got these chats of Jaya Saha, in which she is talking to leading ladies of Bollywood. And these leading ladies are asking Jaya Saha to provide them with CBD oil, to provide them with maal, to provide them with other contraband products. Now, the fact here is, my sources in NCB are suggesting me that Jaya Saha is a big player with a profile of talent manager.
Jaya Saha has been summoned again tomorrow. Big player Jaya Saha, as NCB is telling Siddhant Mishra, Jaya has been summoned once again tomorrow. 4.5 hours of
big player has
interrogation.
many big implications. When you say big player, then there is a consistency here. She is supplying purportedly some sort of a drug. I'm not very fluent with all of this, to Shraddha Kapoor. That is what is being alleged by the NCB. That's why she is being summoned tomorrow once again. And there on the other side, Navika, the chats that you brought out and you exposed and you put out, it seemed that she was also instructing Rhea Chakraborty and others who are in the inner circle of Sushant Singh Rajput of the kind of drugs that should be administered and how it should be administered to Sushant Singh Rajput.
Absolutely. Jaya was saying this and more on the Rhea front, now on the Shraddha front. So clearly the Narcotics Control Bureau is wanting to question her on who all were on her speed dial list for deliveries of these contraband substances. And Siddhant, that's the whole question. Jaya Saha comes out as the big fish. She was connecting the dots between various A-listers as well as Rhea Chakraborty, giving them even recipes on how to administer what, how many times to, somebody could be given things and substances. All of that she was advising. So clearly now the agency is looking at Jaya Saha as a crucial witness, or possibly somebody who can provide evidence into this entire drug syndicate that we have been talking about.
That's absolutely right. Jaya Saha is a big fish. She is not just a pro in consuming drugs, but she was also providing the drugs to many B-town celebrities. Now, why these leading ladies of Bollywood will ask for drugs, CBD oil or marijuana from a talent manager? This is what a question NCB asked her today. She is also a part of one WhatsApp group in which lot of B-town celebrities are part of. So all these chats have already been retrieved and are with the agencies. We are also playing those chats for our viewers on screen, and you can see that how she is talking to Shraddha Kapoor, and Shraddha Kapoor is asking her to provide CBD oil. Then she says that your wish is my command.
Between K and D. K and D is a very interesting one. Let's pull out the K and D conversation also. That is on your screens. D says to K, D says, K, maal you have? And K says, I have, but at home I am in Bandra. I am at Bandra. Now, maal, I don't know what that means, but K says, I can ask Amit if you want. D says, yes, please. You know, obviously, very enthusiastic response there. Then
I would think it was desperate.
K. Amit says, Amit has, he's carrying it. D says, hash, na? So she's now specifying whether it's going to be hash. D
weed.
says, not weed. Yes. What time are you coming to Coco? So Coco, I'm being told by our team, is a some
Club
sort of
joint.
a club joint, some sort of a cafe turned club or something like that. D says 11:30, 12ish. Then D says, till what time is Shai there? Shai, we don't quite know, Navika, who Shai is, but very, very important. K says, I think she said 11:30 because she needs to be at another place at 12. So this is a conversation between K and D. And Tamal, K is supposed to be a top star between in the decade of 1990 and 2000s. And D is a leading Bollywood star as of now, somebody who is enjoying a very strong run at the box office and supposed to also have been married, is married to an A-lister. Obviously, we are not at liberty to divulge the names because the agency has told us right now you can't do so. But this is a very, very interesting conversation. This suggests that usage is quite widespread and many people are supplying drugs to each other. Yeah.
As you rightly said, Jaya Saha is quite crucial and seems like could provide the crucial key to NCB while trying to unlock several mysteries connecting Bollywood and the drugs, alleged use of drugs. Now we know Jaya Saha as a talent manager had not been exclusively appointed to Sushant Singh Rajput. She had been working with several other talents, but these chats which we have exposed here on Times Now also indicate that there are celebrities just not of today's day in time, but also from 80s and 90s who have had a successful run in Bollywood and box office. Even they too are quite active when it comes to conversations indicating or reflecting.
This raises big questions because where are the B-Town sympathizers tonight? We want to ask. Jaya Bachchan says the entire Bollywood is not to be blamed. Yes, we were not, but that doesn't mean that
and the
what's
industry
going
is
on.
being attacked to divert attention from the bigger problems.
And we were accused of trying to divert attention. Tapsi Pannu also said, what's going on? Why is everybody painting Bollywood black? And Pooja Bhatt says nobody is looking at drug usage of the poor. I want to just ask Rahul, all of these people, Farhan Akhtar, whose partner's car was often seen dropping Rhea Chakraborty, for her various interrogations to ED, etc. Also coming out and saying that Bollywood is being singled out. I want to ask you, Rahul, are these people trying to say that everybody is not involved, so don't blame Bollywood? Or are they trying to say, don't look at Bollywood at all because ye to chalta hai, chalna chahiye? Or are they trying to say that mind your own business, this is the way we function, so don't ask us questions? What is it that Bollywood wants to defend? Nobody's saying.
It is fear.
It's the fear of their names coming out.
I'll tell you what it is.
Kapoor's name has come out. What about the others?
You see, under our laws, rightly or wrongly, the user, the peddler, the supplier are all on one legal level. So if you are a user and you're caught with an X amount, you can be booked and you could be in the slammer for a long time. The same goes, of course, for suppliers as well as the peddlers, the middlemen who link the suppliers to the users. Now, Navika, this is it. It's the fear of a damaged reputation, notoriety, and of course, criminal prosecution. That's the real fear, and therefore they didn't want what is perhaps quite prevalent in Bollywood, and Kangana Ranaut said it. She said that, 80% of Bollywood A-list Bollywood stars, 80% of them take, and she said that to you also in your interview, take drugs in some capacity. Now the problem is, Navika, we don't still know who is a supplier, which amongst these stars is a peddler, or just merely a user, a consumer. So it could be a combination of everything. And if that is the case, this is very serious.
It's a very serious issue simply because as of now, as the law stands today, everything everything
Yes.
is
A criminal
considered
offense.
to be a criminal offense, and some of these offenses, especially procuring, arranging and distributing,
consuming a certain degree.
is looked at
Yes.
trafficking of drugs, which has huge penalties as well as lifetime sentences.
Why are there so many penalties? It's because it ties in with an underworld, narco-terrorism it's called, viewers. I don't need to tell you, even today, bank account details are coming out of individuals. If you read the morning papers today, linked to Dawood Ibrahim, who were moving his cash around surreptitiously through the international banking system to finance all sorts of, not just anti-national activities, but crime. So Navika, who has what ties? Now, we already had a case where one individual linked to the underworld went to jail. You know the name of the star, spent a number of years in jail, came back worse for wear, rehabilitated himself. There was a movie made about this gentleman, kept what? Arms at his home. Who knows who's keeping drugs at their home? So these are the big questions. And if you start scratching, a lot of secrets will come tumbling.
That's right. And these are not secrets into people's private lives. These are secrets that have connections with criminal misconduct.
National
and
security implications.
Criminal cases cannot be brushed under the carpet. Yes, you can be outraged and you can come out and say that the media is carrying out a trial. You can come out and say they are painting the whole Bollywood. No, we are not doing that. What we are doing is we are looking at an investigation, and in this case, it happens to be an investigation of a possible homicide. And if it is a homicide, then everything will come into the picture, because in criminal cases and in murders, nobody has the right to keep anything under wraps. This is to determine what was going on and how it has linkages to a possible murder. We'll take a short break. We'll be back soon. More news on the other side.